everybody! Welcome back to Rachel's Delicious Dishes. Today we're going to have some fun. We're going to make some pancakes. So we're going to talk about the ingredients that you need to get started with. Over here we have a cup of all-purpose flour. Mixed into that we have 2 tablespoons of white sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, half a teaspoon of baking soda, and half a teaspoon of salt. So here we have 2 tablespoons of melted butter. You also want to cool that down just enough so that it's not really, really hot. 1 egg, and a cup of buttermilk. We also have some vanilla here, and even though that's not a measurement, you can kind of gauge that for your personal preference, or even if whether or not you want to put that in at all. I wouldn't go any more than a tablespoon. You could go anywhere from half a teaspoon to a tablespoon. I usually put in a little bit more than a teaspoon myself. Are you ready? Okay, let's get to mixing these ingredients. Okay, so you want to mix up all the dry ingredients. Just give them a good little stir there. And then what we're going to do is add all of the wet ingredients together and then add that to the dry ingredients. So here's our butter. And it always helps to just whisk the egg up a little bit first. Add that. And here is our totally non-standard measurement of vanilla. Kind of like a lot of this. Just kind of eyeball it. That's probably about a teaspoon. So you give all of that a good little mix. Just to let you know, if you are working with buttermilk that you made yourself, it does look a little lumpy. That's totally fine. So you're going to add that to your mixture here with the flour. Okay, now the next part of this is we're going to let that sit for about 5 minutes. In the meantime, it's a good idea to go ahead and heat up your griddle. I'm working with an electric stove, and I've actually got mine set to medium. So that's what I use. I would suggest nothing more than medium high, but probably try to set it to about medium, okay? So we're going to let this sit, and then we'll get started with our pan. We're going to grease our pan with butter. Yay! Okay, so we've got our pan greased with some just good old-fashioned salted butter, and that's probably about a tablespoon. We have this handy-dandy wonderful ladle. Thank you, Abuelita Marta. This is about 3/4 of a cup. So we're just going to ladle that right on there. It is going to look very thick, and that's fine. Okay, that's part of what's going to make your pancake have some gusto to it. We're going to go ahead and leave these on here. Now the thing to look out for are the bubbles on the top. Those will tell you when the underside is starting to cook. I say this, but I still always check underneath because you don't want to flip it too soon. You don't want to smash it, kind of like a burger. You just want to be pretty gentle with it, let it do its cooking. So they'll take about 4 minutes to start cooking. You'll see tiny little bubbles on the top. If you're working with a gas stove, that time might be a little bit quicker. Here's another thing to look out for. There are some little bubbles expanding and then popping on the top here. That's a good sign that they're just about ready. Now I'm going to show this underneath here. Can you see that? That's what we want to look for, that goldeny, barely almost a light brown. And get that spatula all the way underneath. Oh, and give it a flip. There we go. That one got a little bit hesitant. Now cooking the other side is not going to take as long because you've already cooked one side and that's kind of started to seep the cooking process most of the way through the pancake. So just sort of watch them carefully. They're starting to get a little toasty on the bottom there too. So it's probably going to take about another 10 seconds. Okay, so let's take these off right here. Ooh, these smell fun. They make your house smell cozy and happy and vanilla-y. By the way, I didn't mention this earlier. Totally get creative and have fun with this. If you don't feel like mixing vanilla into your mix, you could mix a different kind of extract. You can leave it out altogether. In a pinch, you could put a little bit of real maple syrup. That's really nice. Have fun with it. Okay, so here are our pancakes. There are 3 that are this size. The total mix should make about 6. So if you make them smaller, you'll get more. If you make them bigger, you'll get fewer. You can always double it. Okay, so now's the big moment. We're gonna test them. They are looking nice and fluffy. We like to serve them with melted butter and a little warmed real maple syrup. So we're gonna do that right now. Feel free to serve these with whatever you like. Sometimes they're really good with jam. And here we go. Let's see how these came out. They're really good. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so glad to see you again. Please feel free to offer any suggestions for what you think would be a fun dish to try. We'd love to hear it. Thanks so much for joining us. We look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.